Warm greetings from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. I am Professor Radhika, Department of Chemistry. In this video lecture, we discuss about the environmental legislation and laws. We know that in order to manage our environment, we need a strong legal framework in order to protect our environment from the sources which produce a severe environmental pollution. Everyone know that the major environmental problem around us are air, water, which are polluted by industries, then forestry, land resources, urbanization, and waste management. So, in order to protect our environment from harmful these kinds of pollutants, our government of India as well as all the state governments have implemented a number of protection acts. In this module, we discuss about the importance of acts enacted by our government of India for the betterment of our environment. After listening this video, students can able to understand the judicial response to environmental issues in India and know about the importance of public participation through right to information, public interest litigation and other remedies in preserving and protecting environment. Let us see the environmental acts and protection acts in India. The government of India constituted certain laws, legislations and acts to protect the environment. The laws which protect the environment having the following components. One is environmental itself, air, water, wildlife and forest. The following acts are formulated to protect the environment. The Common Environmental Protection Act is enacted in the year of 1986. Similarly, the Air Pollution Prevention and Control Act enacted in the year of 1981. After that, it is renewed in the year of 1987. Similarly, the Water Pollution Act amended in the year of 1974, 78 and 87. The Wildlife Protection Act in the year of 1972, 83, 86 and 91. Finally, the Forest Conservation Act enacted in the year of 1980. Let us see the acts one by one, its aim as well as its important features. Okay. The first act is the Environmental Protection Act. It is a common legislation law. So this act empowers the central government to fix the standards of quality of air, water, soil and noise and to formulate the procedures and safeguards for handling the hazard substance. The main objectives of this environmental act is to protect and improve our environment, to prevent the hazards to all living creatures and its property, and to maintain a harmonious relationship between human beings as well as their environment. The important features of this environmental act is this environmental act provides power to the central government to control environmental pollution. This act gives power to the central government, so that government has the authority to close or prohibit or regulate any type of industrial activities, its operations, if the violations of the provisions of the act occur. The penalty sections of the act containing more stringent penalties. The offenders are punishable with a maximum of 5 years imprisonment with a fine of rupees 5,000 to 1 lakh. This act empowers the officers of the central government to inspect any kinds of site in the industries or plants or the machinery for preventing pollution. They have a rights to collect the samples of air, water and soil or any other material from any factory or its premises for testing. This Environmental Protection Act empowers to the central government to directly act avoiding many regularity authorities or any agencies. Next act is the Air Pollution Prevention and Control Act. This act was enacted in the conference held at Stockholm in the year of 1972. The main objective of these acts are to prevent, control and abatement of air pollution, to maintain the quality of air. This act consists of 7 chapters. The another one important aim of this act is to establish a board for the prevention and control of air pollution. That is the establishment of Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board for the control of air pollution. Let us see the important features of this Air Act. The Central Board may give or define the standards of the quality of air. The state boards are empowered to fix the standards for emission of air pollutants coming from any type of industrial units, automobiles or any other sources. The state boards are to examine the manufacturing process and the control of equipment to verify whether they meet the standards prescribed. The state boards also have a rights to collect the information related to air pollution and also to function as inspectorates of air pollution. The state board can advise the state government to declare certain heavily polluted areas as a pollution control areas and can advise to avoid the burning of waste products which may cause the air pollution in such areas. Similarly, the directions of the central boards are mandatory on state boards. The operation of an industrial unit is prohibited in a heavily polluted areas without the consent of the central board. The violation of law is punishable with an imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 months. Next act is the Water Pollution Prevention and Control Act. This act provides for maintaining and restoring the sources of water. It also provides for preventing and controlling water pollution. Therefore, the main objective of this act is prevention and control of water pollution, maintaining or restoring the water quality, establishing central boards and state boards for the prevention and control of water pollution. The important features of this Water Act is to protect the water from all kinds of pollutions and to preserve the quality of water. This Water Pollution Prevention and Control Acts provides for the establishment of central boards and state boards for the prevention of water pollution. The states are empowered to restrain any person from discharging a pollutant or sewage or effluent into any water body without the consent of the board. Similarly, this act encourages to organize the many research programs on water pollution problems, organizing training programs on water pollution and inspection of sewage and effluents, analyzing water samples. The persons causing water pollutions will be punished with 3 months. So particularly this act gives more importance to protect the water from any kind of pollutions. For that, it encourages to conduct many research programs as well as the training programs related to water pollution. Then the next act is the Forest Conservation Act. This act provides the conservation of forest and its related aspects. This act was enacted in the year of 1980. It aims is to arrest deforestation. So the main motto or main objective of this Forest Conservation Act is protection and conservation of forest and the judicial uses of forestry area. The important features of this Forest Act is the reserved forest shall not be diverted or de-reserved without the prior permission of the central government. So based on this act, we can't use our state government forestry area. With the permission of central government alone, we can do any type of constructional works or any type of welfare programs in the forestry area. Forest land area should not be used for non-forest purpose. Any illegal non-forest activity within the forest area can be stopped under the act. And with the help of this act, we can protect the forest from fire. The hunting, shooting, fishing activities are prohibited, and those who are violated this act, they are punished under this act. This act also giving punishment for the offenders. And the last act is the Wildlife Protection Act. This act is aimed to protect and preserve wildlife. Wildlife refers to all animals and plants that are not domesticated. So we know that in India we are having lot of endangered and endemic species. So we have to conserve these kinds of species for the betterment of our society. Okay, so for that everyone should follow these kinds of acts. The main objective of this Wildlife Act is to maintain the healthy ecosystems for wild animals, to conserve biodiversity and to conserve species. The important features of this Wildlife Act is this act covers the rights and non-rights of the forest users. Mostly the forestry areas are under the control of tribal peoples, that tribal peoples fully know about the forestry area. So this act defines their rights. Similarly, under this act we can establish a more number of sanctuaries, national parks and game reserves in our country. Similarly, the timber collections are prohibited and hunting also prevented under this act. The illegal hunters also punished based on this Wildlife Protection Act. And the rights of forest dwellers also recognized by the forestry policy of 1988, which are taken away by the amended Wildlife Act in the year of 1991. So these all acts are mainly used for the conservation of our environment. So it is our human responsibility to follow all the acts enacted by our Indian government. For that only we can preserve our society, preserve our environment for the future generation. That's only we attain our sustainability. Thank you.